Hello everyone, welcome to my channel again. So today in this backtracking series of videos, we will see the problem combination sum 4. The number is 377. Before that, we have already solved the problem combination sum 1, 2 and 3. So the problem statement is saying given an array distinct integers nums and a target integer target, return the number of possible combinations that add up to target. The answer is guaranteed to fit in a 32-bit integer. So here the problem statement is one numbers array will be there which all are like distinct integers 1, 2, 3, and one target will be given to you, that is say 4. So you have to find how many total combinations are possible, which will, if we add them up, then it will form 4, and one number you can use multiple time. So here if you check 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 4, then 1 plus 1 plus 2 is also 4, 1 2 1 is also 4, and 1 3 2 1 1 2 2 3 1. Okay, so here one thing, if you notice 1 1 2 and 1 2 1, they are considering as different. Okay, means with combinations permutation is also important here, and we don't have to return like how many like type of combinations are there, only we have to return the count, like how many numbers of this are possible, that is 7. So no need to send the actual result here. So now we will check how it is different than other combinations, some 1, 2 or 3 problems, and how we can solve this. So here take the first example where we have given 1, 2, 3 and the target was 4, and we can get all these 7 combinations. So now if we have to think about this problem, then how we can solve this? First thing is this target 4 we have to form using 1, 2, 3. That means every time we have to use all these numbers, and that too also multiple times. That means if my target is now 4, okay, then I have choice as 1, 2, 3. So I can take 1 or 2 or 3, right? And if we do so, what will happen? This target will be reduced to 3 because I have already used 1. Here the target will be reduced to 2, and here the target will be reduced to 1, right? And again if we do the same thing, like here options are 1, 2 and 3, then what will happen? This target will be reduced to 2, then this target will be reduced to 1, and this will be 0. So whenever the target will be reduced to 0, that means one answer we got. And what will be the path? So 1 and 3. So 1 plus 3 is 4. So one result we got, this one. And like that way, if we keep on proceeding this, we will get the complete result. So the complete tree I will show you here. So if you draw here, here is the complete tree structure, decision tree. So if you look at here, so what I did is from the target, I was putting my choice, and then I was like minimizing the target. So first I started with 4, as 4 I have to reach. So I have choice for using 1, 2 and 3. So 1, 2, 3 I have used, then the target reduced to 3, 2 and 1. Then for 3, if we are using again 1, 2, 3, then it will be reduced as 2, 1 and 0. So when I got on 0, that means we got one result, right? So, but as we are progressing it as a like a DFS manner, that means first we will like start from here, then we'll go here, then from here the same thing will apply, then go here, and then we will come here, right? So here we got one result, and what is the result? It is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is making 4. So the first combination we got. Then as it is 0, that means if we add some bigger number 2 or 3, that means obviously that will go to negative value. So this side and this side, there is no need to go. So we have to come back from here, and then we have to backtrack here, and from here we have to see for the other options for 2 and 3. And here we got another result. And that time it is 1 plus 1 plus 2. So the second result. Then if we go back here, it will be negative. So if we go back here, from here it will be 1, 1 from here it will be 1, so it will be 1 plus 2 plus 1. Now if we come back again, here it will be 1 plus 3, and then from this point it will be 2 plus 1 plus 1. So then here it will be 2 plus 2, and here it is 3 plus 1. So if you look at the picture, things will be clear, right? So whatever I have marked as a yellow circle, those are all my result point, right? Where we are making it as 0. And after 0, I am not proceeding. Why? Because that will be negative number. So if we go there, there is no benefit we are getting, right? So if you write this complete decision tree, then you will get the result. Now the question is, it looks similar to the solution of combination sum 1 problem, right? So can we directly apply the combination sum 1's problem to combination sum 4? Obviously, there we are sending all the combinations, but here if we do the result dot length, right, then we should get the result. Now what we will do is we will take the solutions of combination sum 1 problem and we will paste there in the combination sum 4 problem. And I already pasted and did some changes. The thing is method signature, obviously. Then few other things are like, instead of sending this as a result, I am sending the result dot size, because I need the only the number of possible combinations, right? Not the actual things. And previously it was starting from like start variable, then going to end I, because in the next level we are like taking I plus 1 or something, because the numbers we can keep on using every time. So that's why in combination sum 4 problem, we have to every time take the numbers from like 1 to 3. Every numbers we have to take, right? So that's why I maintain it as a 0 to 3. Now if we run it here, it is working here. If you see 7 and 7, right? But the thing is that if we submit now, it is saying memory limit exceeded, right? Means this solution is working for this input maybe, but when I submitted, it is not giving me output because it's a memory limit exceeded. Now the thing is how we can improve in this part. Are we doing something wrong or doing something repeatedly? Can we improve more on this problem? Because as we only need the count, not the actual values. So do we have to create all these permutations and all? That we will check now. So back to the diagram. Here if you check, when we are reducing our target, so that time suppose here the target was 2 and we are using all the numbers 1 to 3. Then for 2, how many result we got? We got 2 result. One is this 0 and another is this 0. That means if my target is 2, by using 1, 2 and 3, I can get total 2 combinations. Okay, at one is 1 plus 1, another one is 2 itself. Fine. If you now look at here, here also some moment the target was 2. And that time also we are using all these numbers 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and everything. And that time also uh, 2 combinations were there, correct? Now, as we already know, like when calculating for this 2, that 2 combinations are possible if the target is 2, then why to calculate it again? Why to form the tree and doing this DFS and backtracking and all? Because already we know this result. Similar case, if you look here, for the target 1, we know that only one combinations can be present. Then why we calculate here and here or here? So 3 times we again calculated. Okay, that is waste of time. That means if we have any pre-calculated target result, then we can use it. So how we can do that? Obviously DP or memoization technique. So what we can do is we can keep one array like this. There we can mark all the target sum. So and say 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, up to 4, right? So we have to slowly think. So if my target is 0, that means only one possible condition is there, because we don't have to take anything, right? Apart from that, every other value we will fill it as -1, okay, initially. Then what we'll do is, suppose we got a result for 1. So for 1, what will happen is, as it is a 0, that means from this table we will get, yes, this result is 1. So we have to return 1 here. And from this 2, as its minus value it will go, then we have not have to return anything. So in this point, for 1 total if we do, then it will be 1 as my total combinations. So then if in this table I have to update that part. So I will update it to 1. Now if we go back here, so this will be 1. Then if we have target as like from 2, if I am using 2, then it will be 0. That means one possible target we got, and for 3 it is not present. That means for getting, like if the target is 2, total 2 combinations are possible, 1 plus 1. Okay, so that also we will update here. Cool. Now we have to return this result here as 2. Then from 3, if we reduce to like 1, that time we will directly search in this DP table, is for target 1 any value is present rather than -1? Yes, 1. So that means we don't have to go further, we will directly return 1 here. And if my target is 0, that means 1 we have to return. So total 2 plus 1 plus 1, 4 I have to return from this layer. Or we can say for 3, the total way it is possible is 4 way. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. It is clear from the picture also. So we have to update that data here. Similar way, when we will go back from here, so as it is 2, so we will check the value from here. So we will directly return 2. We will not go further. And for 1, we will directly return 1. So we will not go further. And total it will be 4 plus 2 plus 1, 7. And that will be the answer. That we have to update here. Okay, so this is the way. If you look at here, we have saved good amount of time. This part and this part and this part, we have not grown the tree. We directly use the result from this DP array. Now we will see the programming. So the problem is also simple to execute. We have to keep one DP array and one response variable. So what we have to do is, initially we have to define the DP array with length as target plus 1. Okay, like for target as 4, the field should be 5 because you have to start from 0. Then we will fill everything as -1 apart from the DP of 0, that will be 1. Then we will do a DFS call or backtracking. So numbers and target we will send. So here if you check, we will start from 0 and iterate over all the numbers, and we will check the difference. If the difference means the new difference is greater than equal to 0, then only we will go further. And we will keep one response variable first, like result variable, which will combine all the results from the other trees calls, right? So for each and every call, what will happen, so from there we'll collect the data and we'll keep on appending here. That means for one value, the complete call we will get, right? And that we will add it as a target in the DP table. Okay, so what will happen if in the deeper level of calls somewhere, what we can get is, if my DP target, this target is directly matching, that means it is not greater than -1 or not equal to -1, means some value is present, then we'll simply return that DP target. If it is not there, then only we'll proceed and search for more, right? And at the end, we have to return the response. So if we submit now, it is working and it is very fast also, if you see. So another way to do this problem is by using DP, and this solution is similar to coin change problem, right? Where you have to take a DP value and then you have to do one thing. So this target you have to set as like target plus 1. Then every time you have to iterate using these numbers. So if sometimes the number is same, then you have to do a DP I plus plus. And if the number is less than the target, that is I, then you have to first find that in the DP of I minus num, what was the target, that you have to add with the current value. So it is similar to coin change problem, and I am like keeping it to work with it, because I will not explain it because the video length will be very much high. You will, if you draw the table, you will easily understand. So this solution is also working. Thanks for watching.